Welcome back to the Abundant Behavior Podcast. I'm your host, Ali Banks. And on my platform, I like to bring business and faith and combine it all on one platform. You know, they say that the biggest gap in the world is between knowing and doing. And the reason a lot of people don't execute is because they lack the knowledge in a certain area. What I like to do on my platform is I like to bring entrepreneurs from different walks of life, from different endeavors, pick their brain a little bit, let them tell their story. Maybe their story can help you guys get to your destination a little bit faster. Today I got my boy with me from SharpVB. My guy, how you doing, bro?
Good.
You know, this is somebody, man, health and fitness is something that I take really serious. And it's not just the health and fitness part of it, because I know a lot of people get in the gym, you throw up all this crazy weight, and then you're like, man, I can't even reach the back of my back. I can't even scratch my back.
Yeah,
so this is where my boy right here come in at.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He come in the recovery part. That part that is going to sustain you to be able to lift weights for not just a moment, but for the rest of your life.
Sure.
I don't want to take up too much of his time. This is definitely somebody we need to connect with. But I'm going to let him tell who he is, his name, a little bit about himself. Then we're going to get right into the episode.
Yes. Thank you, bros. My name is Jayden. I'm the owner of Sharp Performance and Recovery in Virginia Beach. Had my business for about 2 years now. It's going well. I'm staying very busy. I work with the general population, athletes, had a few pro football players, pro boxers that I've trained, and I love what I do, and I just look forward to growing and just being able to make an impact on everyone that I meet. You know, even if I'm working like with them or just giving like someone tips. So that's why we're here today, man. Just give back. So
appreciate you, boss. Bro. No, for sure. I appreciate you coming, man. I appreciate you definitely blessing my platform with your knowledge. So just to get right into it, man, what inspired you to get into sports and medicine and recovery, man? So did you go through an injury? Did you see how impactful injuries could be, the mindset behind it? What really was it for you instead of like being the fitness trainer? Why did you decide to go into the recovery side?
Gotcha. So I actually do a mix. It's a mix of doing like training, like personal training, and also a mix of like the sports medicine part as well. I didn't know if I wanted to do nursing at first or like physical therapy, but I just love to help people out. So
I got you.
I did shadowing with nurses, MDs, and physical therapists, and I connected more with the physical therapist like aspect of things. So start taking like classes. I was gonna go the PTA route, which I was doing first, but once I found out that I need to be a doctor of physical therapy to run my own business as a physical therapy place, then I stopped going the PTA route and then start taking classes to so I can eventually like run it as a physical therapist like facility.
That's dope, man. You said something very key. You was going one route, but you pivoted and went another route. How important is being able to do that in your career, man? How important is being able to look at something and say, I'm going this way. I got a dead aim, but when you get closer to it, you got to go back and go this way, man. How was that for you?
It's, to be honest, I mean, it's kind of easy
for
me, but it's not easy for everybody. Like, I feel like my whole life I had to be able to pivot and like sit on my toes, like facing so many like challenges, like in my life, moving from place to place and stuff like that.
I got you.
I'm just so used to being able to just if like something doesn't work out, boom, right? Like it doesn't work here, boom, because like the longer you stay there, man, the longer you're gonna end up in some deep stuff. So
yeah, for sure, yeah, it's gonna hurt you, man.
Yeah. So, but I mean, that's something that I can thank God for, because everyone is built for that. Yeah. But like my life made me conditioned like for that, because I had a tough life. So you got to be ready to go when it's time to go and stuff like that.
That's crazy how a lot of people, you know, you might look at your life like, man, God, why did you take me down this road, or why did you have this person pass away?
That's
but
true.
Then you get older and you start to realize the very things that you question are the very things that became your superpower.
Yep. Superpowers and answers too.
Yeah,
superpowers and answers.
That's crazy right there. That's crazy that you said that, man. Because there's a lot of things that my mom pressed into me as a kid, and I used to be like, why does she do this so much? Why is she telling me this so much?
Yeah.
I grew up and I was like, this had to be 6 or 7 years removed from me being at my mom's house. It's so much stuff she told me that clicks later, like years later, where you like, okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
That's true.
So you worked in the physical therapy field from 2017 to 2023. So how did that experience shape your approach when starting Sharp?
Yes.
Like having that infield experience, you know what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of people, they may get into businesses, you know, I probably worked out or I went to school, but having that hands-on experience, how was that? How did that shape you and make you different from other people?
Gotcha. That was a good question, man. That actually shaped Sharp performance in recovery, and how it did that was, so shout out to all the therapists that I've worked with,
Sure.
you know, like before I go on, but I just felt like there was certain gaps in the physical therapy field, not because of the therapist, just because of how like things are like with insurance and things like that.
Okay, I got you.
So you can be coming into physical therapy for like a hip issue or something, but where that originated may not be like in the hip. It may be coming from like somewhere else.
Got you.
So, you know, like being able to, and then like someone may get a script and then they got, you know, the doctor can only work on that. But like with me, I want to follow and find where exactly the issue like came from, because the doctor's gonna have to work on this until whatever sessions like you gotta do that first, and then and then you have to get another script again for like another thing that, you know, that may be the huge cost. So I'm like, you know, it's basically me just finding holes within, you know, the practice and me being able to fill them in, man, and things like that. So
That's dope, bro. You said a lot. You said a lot right there. I want to break that down a little bit. Just being innovative.
Yeah.
Just being innovative, you found a way to help your clients be better.
Yes, sir.
A one-stop shop. Being able to like, okay, because like you said, man, I might be in here for my hip, bro, but I really feel like it's coming from my back.
Yeah.
Like they got you in here working right here, bro, but it's really, and you're like, all right, let me go ahead and see if I can really figure it out, man. How impactful has that been for your clients? You let them know, like, man, like usually you might have to go back, but like I got you. Like, how is that, man?
I'm just very upfront.
Big key difference, bro. Yeah.
Yep. Very upfront and very passionate. So like, I didn't really know it as clearly as I'm telling you now, but it's just the repetition and like findings, like, you know, for like doing this for like so long, I like found that, you know, like person like dealing with like pain here, and just they could be like coming in like the next like week, all right, like this feels better, or like it could be after their PT stuff is done. Oh, like I feel good here, but now this is bothering me. But
right.
But that's because we've been working on that the whole time, which could have been masking the original like issue.
That is crazy.
So, you know,
the human body is very complex, man. When you think about it on a bigger scale.
Yeah. So like once I like was able to like see, and then since it, you know, I was able to like explain that to my clients, like, hey, like you may be like feeling like this here, but it can be coming from here and stuff like that. And then I think my clients just love how I break stuff down like to the very like simple form, and they can see my passion behind every word I say, and like just them like working with me. So I think that just makes a huge like impact on and difference of how I treat people versus other people and stuff like that, because people can actually feel the feel that I want to like help them out and stuff like that.
So how do you keep how do you keep your accountability towards your clients as far as when they leave? All right, I know you got to be doing X, Y, and Z if you really want this to work. So how does that look like? How is that? Maybe somebody, they want to get into this field, but they like, I really don't want to deal with the client aspect. Like I'm helping them, and you know what I'm saying, a lot of tug and pull back and forth. How do you deal with that? How do you combat? How do you work with those clients?
Good question. Once again, it's the connection that you have with that client. You gotta make sure that you build that relationship up like with them. So I mean, I could keep a client just off of just like relationship, you know, if
rapport you build.
Rapport. Yep. So I mean, I could be good, but if like they're not messing with you, bro, they're not gonna come. They're gonna come back. Sure. You know, you can be smart and like have all the knowledge,
educated.
Right. So the rapport, and then after, you know, like when you're done with your sessions and stuff like that, go up to them. You can go up to them and say, all right, so like when am I seeing you next?
Right.
So like
things like that, follow up
planning, plans and stuff like that. Give them homework.
Got you.
And things like that. So like those are some things that kind of help me out.
That's good, man. Building that client-to connection, because even getting in entrepreneurship early, I figured out one thing, that it's not about the most skillful person. It's just about who can put up the most reps and how many people you can impact along the way.
That's it. Yeah.
When I changed my mindset from transactional to helping people,
That's it. Yeah, man.
My business changed.
Yes.
Because you can start to get to a point where you're like, this money good.
It's good. Yeah. Facts.
So now you become a one-stop shop for
That's
people
it.
like, oh,
Yeah.
I've seen this before. Give you this, get you
Yeah.
up out of here.
And
Give
then-
you this, get you up out of here. How did you get out of that mindset? How did you come at it on a different angle as
I
far
was
as
about
like
to-
impact over transaction, man?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a big
That's
problem
huge.
for most people starting out in business.
That's huge. So like, you go into business with this passion of wanting to help people out, right?
Right.
And then that money start coming in and like getting to you.
Money good.
You're like, oh man, like like I need some more, So like then,
No, for sure, yeah.
so then you kind of get moved by the money instead of your passion and like love for it. So like I had to kind of catch myself on it. Like, dude, I have to get back to like why I start. Like basically like why I started it and stuff like that. So you can't have your business be like all transactional because first of all, your clients can feel that.
Yeah.
First of all, people can like feel that it's all about money, and then that's gonna push people away. So definitely keeping God first, man, because like you bring all this money in, and it can change who you are if like you're not keeping Him first and stuff like that. So and just staying true to who you are and knowing why you started your business and stuff like that, and just keep that at your forefront. Don't let the money change you and kind of like gear you off into a different way and stuff like that. So
Yeah, bro, that's super important. Like you said, keeping God first. I think that's the main thing. Like, I don't know if you could contest to this or attest to this, but like when you get on your high horse and you real super like you boastful or you feel like all right, I got this figured out.
Yeah.
You're really not leaning on God too much during those times. You probably leaning on yourself a lot. And when you do that time after time again, it feels good in the moment, but you're gonna fall down on your face
At some
eventually.
point.
At some point, you're gonna fall down on your face, and then you're gonna get up and you're gonna be like, all right, God, my bad.
Yeah.
I felt it the whole time. I knew it the whole time. Like, I could just the energy, the spirit you carry.
That's true.
Man, so yeah, that's why your clients feel it is because it's an energy. You
it's
carry.
energy. Yeah,
you know
man.
what I mean. Getting away from that is definitely important, man.
And then that's why it's important to stay humble because if I didn't have that much money growing up or know how to like run a business, so I try my best to like remain thankful and humble because once you fall off of that, like I said, I didn't come from money and stuff like that. So if you fall down, it's gonna be hard to get back up because you're not used to like being there.
Right.
And I didn't hit that I didn't hit that far down, but I definitely had challenges that I had to work from and that I learned. So I learned to definitely like stay a lot more humble in my business and just keep my passion first and keep my love first and God first too.
Nah, for sure, man, for sure. So as opposed to most people, man, they might be afraid to go out there and start that business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They I don't even have the confidence. I'd rather go work for somebody, man. What gave you that confidence to start your business? How has it evolved since you started it?
Gotcha. So what gave me the confidence is just repetition and knowing what my figuring out what my where God like wanted me to be at. And I started my business until I was 20, I say about 23, 24. I knew that I wanted to eventually have my own business.
Right.
I love helping people out. I love working out. I love to solve problems. That's why I'm in the field that I'm in. But I would say my son definitely made me kick gears on starting it like faster than waiting because I got a little bit scared when I found out that I was having a son.
Nah, for sure.
I'm like, I don't got time to like play around. I gotta get this thing rolling.
Nah, yeah,
so, like,
for sure, fast.
So like whenever you're faced with like something scary in life, it's better off not that, scratch that. Whenever you're facing something like scary, so like having a son, that made me want to start like a business like faster. Like people would say like business is like scary, but what's scary is I'm about to have a son, and I still got dreams and goals,
right?
And I don't want to put that off, and until he's older, because then I'm be old. So I'm like I got the energy and a passion now. So, right. Like my son coming into this world like made a huge like impact and made me start it a little bit faster, and I'm grateful. that it did. Even though, it did come with ups and downs of me doing that, like losing like some time from like me being out all day grinding and stuff like that. But now I'm at the point where like he's older and I'm able to bring him with me to work and stuff like that. So like he sees
dope,
like his dad grinding and stuff like that. So
that's dope, bro.
That has definitely helped me like hurry up and start this business and then not put it off and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
that's dope, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, for sure. I know a lot of times, man, this is one thing that I always say. One thing my mentor told me, he said, Ali, it's going to be a lot of things that excuses you have along the way, and a lot of people, they're going to use that as a reason not to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're going to have the same people who got those same list of excuses, and they're going to use it as fuel to the fire.
That's it, yeah.
He said you can either have it define you, or you could define the moment. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because like you said, you was working for the future. You wasn't working for the moment.
Yeah,
you wasn't thinking like, okay, all right, I got to get this money right now. Let me go work for somebody. You was thinking, all right, in the future, when he's older and he has something to look to, I want it to be something that I built.
Exactly.
I want it to be something that I put my hands on, because a lot of people might say going to work for somebody is guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people might say being an entrepreneur isn't guaranteed. Like when you got a kid, like who about to go start a business? Your first thought is, let me go find the closest job that I can get and sign up for that 9 to 5. So that right there, bro, that's impactful. That's something a lot of dads, a lot of men can take and just post that on your wall, man. Take this piece and just. He said something very impactful, and that was the same thing with me. My son was the reason that I even like got into being a photographer, like because I'm like, okay, I'm good at this. Let me build this out. Let me go ahead and see what I can do with my own hands. It's right there, bro. When you keep God first, I feel like it always keeps you at a point where you can't just be stagnant. You got to build something on your own. When you read these amazing stories that's in there, people doing things with their hands, you know, you like, man, I got this same power and ability. Why would I be stagnant? That's it. One day you're going to have to grow up, and I think you're going to have to grow up, and your kids going to know who the real person. You can portray who you want to be all their life. When they get older, they going to know. My dad really wasn't this fitness guy he said he was. The business wasn't as successful as he said. He was just going out playing dad. You know what I'm saying? Or playing whatever, because we grew up and it's the same thing with our parents. They did the best as they could, but we know who our parents are now.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? We know who they were. We realize certain situations. So I think that's very important, because as a man having a son, it's like you got to be that example. Yeah. You got to be that example for him, because if you let the world be that example for him, if you let another man like dictate that for you, man, it's gonna be that he's gonna see that. He's gonna think that's the standard. You know what I'm saying? So that for me, it was more so just like being the best that I can be, so that he had that example to follow on, man.
And then I'll add to that. And then there's not that many great leaders like nowadays. There's not a lot of good men leaders. A lot of people are like weak like nowadays. You know,
for sure, bro.
You know, it's hard to find strong men. So I try to be strong for my son, my family, like for my clients, because like not everybody's. Like a lot of people like want to follow things. I don't like to follow stuff, like to create, find out, and then create blueprints and stuff like that for like anyone that like I love and stuff like that, because it's not that many strong of us here. So
very innovative, bro. No, for sure, man. You're right, man. It's not. Yeah. And you and I think a lot of times we lose sight of the fact that it's not, because, man, I'm around sharp dudes like you. I'm around dudes who are in their kids' lives. Yeah. And it makes me lose sight of. It's a lot of us that's not like that. So I'm starting to think we moving the needle. We are, but it's like it's a lot more. We need to set examples for it. It's not just our community. It's bigger than that. It is. You know what I mean? And like you said, if we can be that example and get this on the global level for more than our kids, that's even better, bro. That's true, man. that's even better. So the variety of services you work with: injuries, group training, stretching, massaging, more. What do you find to be like the biggest need for people? Like, what's like the biggest, like most people come in, what is like the biggest need? Maybe it's something they can do before this happens, like, because I know for me, man, I like to go in there, I see that weight, I get excited, I don't like to do no stretching. You know what I mean? But what's the biggest need that you start to see for most people?
The biggest need, I would say, is the stretching and massage. Like people like, I mean, I think people like that because they know that they can just like relax. I mean, and then I'm pretty sure a lot of them deserve it because everyone's busting their butt like every day, like working. Life is like stressful, so I think it's definitely the stretching massage because it helps off with helps with stress, tightness, and a lot of that tightness comes from stress. From
right. I was just gonna ask you. That's crazy. You answered my next question.
From like work, and then you go into to work out. That's putting more stress, more tension on you.
Yeah.
So I think people are just coming to me for just that. Just get like that, like relax, to get like relaxed, because and then also helps out with sleep too. So like
for sure.
Like doing those sessions to kind of help people like get the optimal amount of sleep that they need to be able to go to work and have energy for their kids and family. So
I got you for sure. So what's like one misconception that most people have about stretching before the gym? Like a lot of people, because I'm one of the ones like, you don't need to do that, man. What's one of the biggest misconceptions that you see?
People think that one is better than the other. Like,
Okay.
Okay,
Get into that a little bit, man. Because I see a bunch of, do this before you get in there and lift this heavy weight. Like, do this before every upper body workout.
Gotcha.
Like, what is it, man? Well, like, get into that a little bit. Gotcha. That was like a personal question I had for myself.
Yes, sir, I got you, bro. I got you, bro. So, that's a good question. With that, you always want to make sure that the body is warm. Like, first of all, like before you do anything. So people that say don't stretch out before, yes, like you want to get your body warm. It can be just doing some little active stretching, just like going from like lateral, like lunging from side to side. Just do anything to kind of get your body going. So I would say for the beginning of a workout, you can do stretching, but this type of stretching will be more of active stretching, getting things loose, like and warmed up. And then people that think that stretching at the end is bad, it's not bad. You want to make sure that, things like cramps aren't like happening. You want to make sure that your muscles are back to, they're going to be fully at their optimal length, but you don't want to have any trigger points, any knots. Right. So like doing like a static hold stretch at the end kind of helps with that tightness that you're feeling at the end. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, you good, bro. Yeah.
Sorry. So just having so like doing a like static stretch at the end, hold for like 3 times, 30 seconds each side is like the best way and stuff like that. So you're not getting any muscle cramps or tightnesses at the end. So you can stretch in the beginning and the end. It's just different types of stretches that you will be doing. Yeah,
because I always see, don't static stretch before the gym. It's a high risk of injury. Is that true, or is that something that's like?
Man, when you walk into that gym, there's always a risk, man. Yeah, there's always a risk. I wouldn't say that stretching would be the biggest risk. I would say people just having bad form and stuff like that would be the biggest risk. But people like, you can do a stretch, but like you want to hold it for like that long because like in the beginning, because you're trying to get those muscles to be active. Okay. You know, activate them because
warm them up. More or less than stretch them out. Yeah. So that's like you said, that will be better for like the end of the workout. To get them back to where
optimal length. Yeah.
Okay, got you. So that makes sense, man. That makes sense. How pivotal was it working with the MDs and PAs, man, when you went and you was working at the college? How pivotal was that for your career? Was that something that most people in your training they don't get an opportunity to do?
Yeah, I got.
So how was that, man, for you in your career, bro?
Gotcha. It was good. It was a I would say humbling experience. It was a challenging experience that I was open to taking, because MDs and PAs, they know everything,
and that they probably specialize in so much. They certain probably got that I know this mentality. So it's like,
so I started getting my respect when so I would do public speaking events about just like overall health and working out and stuff like that. So like anytime I talk about health, fitness, and stuff like that, my passion like comes out.
They
so like
see it, right?
Yeah. So like they can know a lot about certain things, but my passion kind of gives me the edge, because that gives me the like whenever I get home, like I'm studying like so many things because I'm passionate like about it. So I can possibly know about more about something that like than them be like based on like me going home and just studying and stuff like that. Cause like they're focused on like more of like medicine stuff, kind of. But me, I'm specifically like fitness and like recovery stuff. So like I'm always trying to build on that. So I was able to, and then the stretching and like the massage stuff, they didn't really know too much about that. So I mean, which like people like, you know, I mean, that's the thing that people like overlook. So
Gotcha.
being able to like show them, you know, I even show them like certain stretches that they can benefit from, you know, from like being like at the desk all day, and
Yeah, man.
you know, just like doing like little small group. Like I even did like little small like group stretching like things like with them, and like they didn't even like realize like how tight they were
Yeah.
until they started like moving around and doing it. So
That's dope, man. So it just gave you a little more confidence in
It
what
did.
you was doing.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and also something key that you said. You was saying like even just working with them, you seen like a lot of people leaned on what they knew, and you lean more on innovation and how you can better what you already knew. Because I think a lot of people want to know everything, but if you can find 2 and 3 things to specialize in and work on that and stay motivated in that, I feel like you can have a great business, bro. Because focus on things people aren't focusing on.
that's it. Yeah.
And within that, find things that they not focusing on, man. You just
Basically.
finding holes, bro. You real
That's it, man.
innovative. Bro. That's dope,
Appreciate you, bro.
Finding
Appreciate you.
that's a big key of business, bro. Finding holes in the business, like that's what makes CEOs being able to find holes in the business.
Exactly.
That's why, like some CEOs, they step down, some come up, and in 2 days they turn the whole business around.
That's true.
That's all they doing is finding holes. They're not finding what you did good. They're finding where you can be better.
Yeah, that's
you know what I
it,
mean.
yeah.
So that's
Exactly.
dope, bro. That's dope. So most people, they would say, man, when I went there, I learned this, I learned that. But it seems like for me, you learn to just lean more on you, lean more on your confidence, lean more on what you're doing, because you're seeing it's a need and everybody's leaning one way. Let me lean to the right, man.
That's
How
true.
has that been for you, bro? Because I'm the same way. Like everybody going left, I'm be looking left. Like, let me see what right look like, man. How is that for you? How has that been?
So I mean, in the beginning, it was tough because people like question you.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
And then I had to learn how to respond back, because I didn't want people to like question me, because like it's like I know what I'm talking about, you know, but
Right.
it's just like how you come at it. It's just like people question you because maybe they never heard of like what you're telling them and stuff like that. So I mean, you gotta be patient and then like break it down, and then some people don't catch on like until later. Like you know, I remember like in the beginning I was telling them, you know, I would go out and like give like free like sessions to people just to because like you know, like you don't have like no one pay for a service that they don't really know about and trust you with, you know. So I would give it to them for free. Some people didn't take it because of my just the way that I was doing things different. They're like, nah, like I'm good. I'm good.
I ain't never seen things done this way. You know what I'm saying? I see why they free. Type of
facts,
deal.
yeah. but now you know they see that the prices has went up and stuff like that, and like and then now they want to use me as as their person for like injuries and stuff like that. So sometimes it takes people to a while to catch on. So sometimes you can explain stuff to people and still won't like register to them. But once they see other people start hopping on a bandwagon, then they want to come to you and then start asking you questions. So like sometimes people like won't even want to have time to even like I mean like lie. They want to hear like what you gotta say, like lie sometimes.
Hear you out.
Yeah,
they just people have premeditated assumptions before they even come, bro. But you being able to stay down and stay resilient, that's an important part of entrepreneurship.
It is.
When you're trying to be innovative in a lane, you could have succumbed to the way that the way that things were. You could have turned around and be like, all right, well, I see that's not really working. Let me just step back and do that, man. Like I think that's really important too. Being able to know where you going is important.
It is.
You knew where you was going.
Yep, and that is stood on that path, man. Like I
knew where you was going, bro.
I didn't let anyone's thoughts or how however like someone like looked at me, like especially being a black entrepreneur in a field of medicine and like helping people like recover, just like me being a brown skin dude, like people would be, kind of just like questionable, but I knew what I was doing was for the right reason, and like I want to help. So as long as your heart and mind is set on doing the right thing and for the right reason, you can never lose. I mean, like some people like might not mess with you, but like you won't lose if you just stay on your path and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I was looking through your bio, man, and it says you were honored with the People Saving People Award by the Sudden Cardiac Arrest Foundation. What's
Yes,
the story behind that, and what exactly is that? Just tell for the people.
Yeah, man. So in 2020, I was awarded with the People Saving People Award by it was given to me by a MD from the San Diego Chargers. It was at it was at a Sudden Cardiac Arrest Foundation event in San Diego, and the story behind that is wild, man. So and you guys can look it up online. Just type in my name, Jayden Rodriguez, Life Saving Award. So I had COVID in 2020, all right, and I was staying at my uncle's house, and I told him that I had COVID and stuff like that, and didn't want to hear it. They was like, all right, gotta go. you gotta go. So I mean, like, I wasn't like sick bad, but like, you know, I was coughing and stuff like that. It just felt like a regular like cold and stuff like that. So like, I was able to move around. So like I went to his house, had a mask on, packed up my stuff. I wasn't gonna go back home to Connecticut. My mom was still living in Fredericksburg, but I didn't want to go to my mom's house because I'm like, I don't want nothing happening to my mom or anything like that.
Right, gotcha.
So I'm like, you know, I'm gonna go back to Connecticut, or like I got family and friends at, and stuff like that. And one of my friends called me and told me that I could stay there at their place and stuff like that, because like they had a room that was like they have a huge house, so like I had the room.
Sure,
Yep.
yeah, it's dope, bro.
So I didn't want to go there either because I didn't want to get them sick and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I went there that day, right? And it's crazy because it's like I go there, I get my room, like I'm like down the hall and stuff like that, and then she showed me like where the bathroom is and stuff like that. So I remember waking up at like 5 in the morning, like using the bathroom. So yeah, I remember waking up at like 5 in the morning and like using the bathroom, and I come out and I hear some weird loud snoring noise. It wasn't like, you know, just regular like snore. It was very loud, which I eventually found out that's called a death snore. So I'm like, you know, something like told me to go like check up on her and stuff like that. So I went and then knocked on the door. Boom, boom, boom. She didn't like say anything, so I knocked harder. So knocking, dude, nothing. I'm like, all right, now I'm getting like, you know, like a little bit like worried and stuff like that. So then I ended up opening up the door, and I seen the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life, man. Like her eyes were open, and she was doing that death snore that I was just like telling you. And God is good because a week like before that, I just got CPR like trained.
That's crazy, bro.
So like
life happens how it's supposed to, man.
Mm-hmm.
That is so crazy.
So I kind of just like I got scared for like 5 seconds, man. Like I was thinking all different types of stuff, man. But I'm like, I can't just leave her here,
right?
Like,
just
like
try.
This. Yeah.
Just try.
So I picked her up because like the bed was like, you know, like squishy, like, you know, it was kind of like squishy. So like doing CPR there like would have been bad.
Yeah, it was
you're gonna get bad. Yep.
Right.
So I ended up picking her up, putting her on the ground, and then doing CPR, and then like I would hear like little gasp, and like that kind of like hearing those gasps like gave me faith that, you know, like
you was
on
the right path. You got to bring
that
it back.
too.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
And then I called 911, and I was talking to the dispatcher, and they were kind of just walking me through everything and told me that the EMS will be there soon, and they probably got there in like 10 minutes, but it felt like 5 minutes though, like how fast they came and stuff like that. So they came, hooked her up, and started doing CPR. And she's an incredible woman. She didn't have any oxygen for like 40 minutes because they flew her from Fredericksburg to I think like Fairfax, and they were trying to give her oxygen, and then like she wasn't like receiving like anything. Mm-hmm. But after that, she started like getting her oxygen back, and like to this day, her like brain is like good. Like like usually when people are, like lose that oxygen,
yeah, bro,
they like brain dead and stuff.
Up, bro.
And like she's like sharp still, man. So it's just awesome to see her like still working out, even though like she has tougher days more than, you know, than she used to do. But yeah, she's killing it still, man. So it's awesome, like seeing her like still being able to be here. She has a defibrillator here, so if her heart kind of gets out of whack again, it kind of just like restarts it and restarts the pattern and stuff like
bro.
that.
So that's where the award came from.
Yes, sir.
That's your friend,
Mm-hmm.
man. That's a very impactful story, bro.
Yeah, man.
That's very
scary.
impactful, man. So, just being rewarded with that, or like, man, you saved my life, bro. Like having like that's dope, man. Even but that's how you know God is real, bro.
Yes, yes.
That right there, because I'm like, I can't even ask any questions on that story because it's just so unbelievable listening to it. It's like for 40 minutes and our brain is still sharp, man.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's like the one thing that most people say is like the turning factor is losing oxygen to the brain.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean, man? You definitely stepped in and saved our life,
man.
Bro. That's very impactful, man.
And I was praying like crazy for number one, like she's my friend, like like nobody wants to lose a friend and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then also, like for like my sake too, like I didn't want no one thinking that I did something because like it was just me and them in the house.
It was a lot to think about in that moment.
Yeah, so I was just praying like God, like please, just praying like every day, and I was, dude, I done did the deepest prayer that I can ever do, and about like 2 days later, like we found out that she was like still living and stuff like that. So I was like, wow, like dude, like God is real, man, because like she done came back from all that. Yeah, like I think she died like twice, and then like she came back from all that.
That's impactful, bro. But that just goes to show the assignment that God has on her life as another sidebar. When you have a God, when He got something for you. Mm-hmm. It ain't your time yet.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? So how do you use God to serve people? Like, how does that keep you humble with your clients, man?
Yeah, man. I just, like I said, just like remain humble, and then just knowing where my gift came from, appreciating it, and yeah, man. Just like really staying humble and just praying every day, and then thanking Him. I thank God for my clients because they're gonna rock with me like so many other places that they can go to. And then I mean I don't use insurance. People pay pay me cash. Okay. So gotcha. So people can go like to like other places and like use like insurance cards. So I always just thank God for like my clients. And even like my people that follow me on Instagram. I mean that's like a huge help there too. So I thank God for every little piece that He's given me and stuff like that. So just make sure you keep Him first. Make sure you keep Him first because it could all be taken away. Like your scale can only get you so far, but it's His grace and love that makes you like maintain what you have, man. You should like keep Him first, man.
That's important, bro. This was definitely an impactful episode, man. I definitely appreciate you coming out, man. You dropped some gems, a lot of knowledge. Yes, this is definitely impactful, man. But before we get out of here, anything that you want to leave the people with, a quote, something that's been on your mind, something that can help them.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I know that times are tough now, but guys, just please stay strong. Mental health, man, is like very important. People dealing with anxiety, PTSD. So just like show love, be more, try to be more understanding to people and like what they have going on. And just man, like we just need like more love here, man, and just try to be like more loving. So that's all I gotta say, bro.
For sure, man. I appreciate you, man. Yes, it's definitely impactful, man. It was definitely a dope episode.
Thank you, brother.
I appreciate you guys tuning in. You guys stay tuned in for the next episode because we only gonna be getting better. Thank you.